Thank you very much. Lidl in Ireland recently announced they were going to pay the living wage to its workers. Thought that was fantastic news. Was wondering, would they extend it to the people who work and produce pretty much everything that they sell? I asked them on Twitter, but they haven't got back to me yet. So obviously Lidl are going to pay a living wage to the people who work in the shops selling the produce, but after that, well, go to hell. They should have it as a new slogan, Lidl, go to hell if you're a farmer. And we need something to change that. How we change it, it's a difficult one. It's not that simple. I found it interesting that the Commission representative said that farmers should increase sustainability and efficiency. Well, any increases in efficiency in the past have got gobbled up. So, OK, fine, farmers should increase their efficiency. But what do we do then to make sure that they keep that margin, that bit extra to survive on? Because at the moment, the way things are going, if farmers became so efficient that their costs were zero, you can be guaranteed that the supermarkets will be looking to buy it, actually be looking to charge them to take it off them, because you've got to get less than what it costs you. That seems to be the rule. And we need to change something to do that. We hear about Ryanair and how they're too big and how they weren't allowed, for example, to buy Aer Lingus in Ireland because they have too much of the market share. But of course, when it comes to Tesco's in Ireland and it comes to Lidl and across Europe, there doesn't seem to be a problem with that. We can't do that. We can't regulate it. But we can for one and we can for the other. I don't understand why we can do it in one area and we can't in the other. Maybe you can explain it to me. MEP Agnew, I'm one of those Irish MEPs. I'm not exactly puffing my chest out with pride today at our country's beggar thy neighbour policy of getting investment into our country. I am of the opinion that the EU should mind its own damn business, but I think we should make up our own mind. And if we were making up our own mind and we were a sovereign state and I had anything to do with it, I wouldn't adopt a beggar thy neighbour policy, because it might work in the short term. And OK, diplomacy with your neighbours, they're not exactly always your friends. It's always, you've got to fight over these things. But there's one thing for sure, we are making lots of enemies. And after a while, that's going to cost us. So what do I think? Well, we shouldn't wait for Big Brother to slap us on the wrist to do the right thing. We should do the right thing because it's right. First of all, thanks for a very clear explanation. It isn't always that clear when I listen to some people in the Commission, but you were clear, and thanks for that. In relation to the voluntary reduction scheme, what's to stop a farmer? Now, the vast majority of farmers are honest, but in every sector there are people who aren't necessarily honest. What's to stop a farmer who was already planning on getting out of it, taking advantage of this scheme, and then the money is wasted? Is it possible that it could be done in conjunction with a limit expansion for other farmers? And in relation to top-ups by national governments, like we keep hearing about the common market, and how would it be fair under a common market scheme if a richer country can in effect subsidise its dairy farmers, whereas maybe a not so rich country, or a country like Ireland that doesn't want to take billions off Apple, can't actually do it because of those reasons? How is that fair? Like, we talk about a common agricultural policy, where is the commonality? I think ultimately though, you learn bits and pieces as you come to these committee meetings, but I've heard it on numerous occasions about the egg sector, how they differentiated, and they gave the public the choice to go out and buy a free-range product. 52% of people, as far as I can see, in Britain are now doing that. We need to go down that road and let people choose. And even better, the people who are choosing, if we didn't screw them by landing them with bank debt that wasn't theirs in the first place, then they would be able to go out and pay that price. Thank you. I hope that the European Union learns a lesson from its attempt to flex its atrophied muscles and how ineffective it is, and the impact that it has on some countries. And that doesn't seem to come into the thinking of the EU when it decides to do this. And I hope that lesson is learned when the negotiations place on Brexit, and countries that are negatively affected by potentially the EU flexing its muscles to give Great Britain a kicking in order that no one else leaves. Remember, there are unintended consequences, and I wasn't caught in the shrapnel.